Everybody is looking at moving to Nashville in 2024. Today in this show, I'm going to discuss the 7 reasons that I'm hearing from so many people that they are moving to Nashville. And it may not be all the things you're thinking of. You could have different answers too. Why are you thinking of moving to Nashville? I'd love to know. Please put it in the comments. But I've got one that people tell me they're really surprised once they've gotten here. There are 7 things that I'm going to tell you about today, and there's one that really surprises people that they find when they get here. I don't want you to make a big costly mistake, so be sure to stick around and I'll tell you about it. By the way, I'm Susan Thetford, your go-to realtor here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. I am a native Nashvilleian, and I help people every single day move to Nashville, move, invest, relocate, all the things that you do when you go into a new area. Absolutely love it. Please do what others are doing. If you're considering the move, then take the time. Let's do a 30-minute phone call, or in the description, you'll find how to reach out to me. Let's set up a time to talk for 30 minutes to discuss your definite needs for a move here. Might not be a good fit. I'll let you know that too. Let's get to the 7 things you need to know about moving to Nashville. And on each one of these, I have videos here in my YouTube channel that discusses each one and more. So coming in at number 7, we have a really growing job market. As a matter of fact, our unemployment rate is at a smidge over 3%. Now, the reason for that is that we have so many different areas of job growth. There's not just one industry here. Between entertainment, healthcare, education. Nashville is a great place for entrepreneurial startups, as a matter of fact. We have a really great incubator and where entrepreneurs all come together, and those who have been very successful in their professions come to help mentor. Super as far as that goes. Over in the East Nashville area, there's some really terrific incubators. Our growing job market is because so many other industries are thriving. In an economy that sometimes slows down, in a slowing economy that we had in the early 80s, and then again 2008, for a couple years, even in those very slow economies where many cities were really hurt by the nationwide economy, Nashville is so varied. Banking, manufacturing, HCA, associated industries with medicine, music, entertainment. We are so diverse that even if one area kind of drops for a while, for whatever reason that might be, it's not as though the entire city is really devastated by that. Something to consider when you're thinking about a place to move to. We have a 3% unemployment rate, and if you have skills, we want you here. Coming in at number 6 as a real reason that people are strongly considering Nashville is our strategic location. We are less than 800 miles from pretty much any place that you want to be, and you have the access to it through airport and the interstates. I-24 going east-west, I-40 going east-west more directly, 65 going north-south. We have a hub of interstates that all meet at the Nashville downtown area, which makes us very easy and accessible to most areas of the country. We also have an international airport that just finished up a huge remodeling, and for all of us old Nashvilleians, it's quite the shock to have grown up here, seeing the small airport that we had that was very local, to seeing what we are now is just dramatic changes. But that makes it simple for us to be able to have access to get anywhere, and any businesses to get to us. And therefore that also helps boost that business acumen and that business economy. Coming in at number 5 is what is so attractive about Nashville is because of our education and the healthcare. Education, because the 3 main universities are Vanderbilt University, Belmont University, David Lipscomb University, TSU, Tennessee State University. We have medical hospitals between Meharry and the Vanderbilt Teaching Hospital. Healthcare, teaching, education, that's on the higher education end of things. The Metro Nashville Public School System services 86,000 children, and then there are many nationally acclaimed private elementary and high schools here in the Metro SMSA as well. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about Williamson County, which is the county just below Nashville, and it has the state's #1 public school system in the entire state. That's one of the things that are attracting so many people here is the really good education system, and specifically to Williamson County. You can find out more in this whole roster of videos about Williamson County. One of the things I'm finding is that so many university students decide they love Nashville. They've become a part of our society. They love what they have here. They love all the diversity, and they are staying here in the Nashville area because they come here for school. They love it. They stay here, and then families follow them. Moms, dads, people want to raise their families here. I'll get to that a little bit later, but that education system maybe brings people. It's also what's keeping people. Coming in at number 4 is Nashville is truly a cultural and entertainment hub. If you don't like something here and really love it, I don't know how to make you happy. Between the sports teams, you've got the Tennessee Titans football. Nashville is huge football fans, huge sport fans. We've got the Nashville Predators ice hockey down at Bridgestone Arena. We've got the new Nashville Hockey League with the largest state-of-the-art, built only for soccer fields. We've got that right here just in the last couple of years. But we're also have the minor league baseball, all the university sports, and you know, just because we're in Middle Tennessee, we're gonna find that there's a lot of Big Orange UT Knoxville fans here in Tennessee who beat their way over to East Tennessee for the fall football. We are big fans here. Or head on over to Memphis for the Grizzlies basketball. Tennessee is a big sports fan location, and if you happen to bring your love of your hometown team here, that's even more fun. You may think of Nashville as only being country music. Well, sorry to tell you, you'd be wrong. We are a vibrant music scene with rock and blues and jazz and all the indie music. We've got 180 recording studios with about 100 publishing houses here. So it's a vibrant music scene. It's also a vibrant business music scene. Back to all the great employment with such a big industry of music and entertainment and promotions of putting these things together. It's a great place to look for a job if you are interested and have that acumen. You probably know that Nashville is called Music City, but did you know that we are considered the world's #1 city for live music? And again, it's not just country. And not only can you find it live at some of the venues like the teeny tiny little Bluebird Cafe, where you can likely find music in the round and some of the artists that you may know well. And from big labels, you're also going to find a lot of the songwriters. You're also going to find people playing their music on the sidewalks. Downtown Franklin, I find them. I found them in downtown Nashville, just playing out on the sidewalk, trying to get their name out there. You're going to find it everywhere. What do you like? What's your favorite kind of music? What would you like to know about? I can let you know about where some of those music will be found. So if you want to know what Nashvillians do, we do not go down to Lower Broad to the honky tonks. But if we like country music, we got lots of other options for you. Nashvillians don't do Lower Broad except for when they have friends who want to come down and honky tonk. There's lots of other places that we like to go. I'll share that with you on that 30-minute call. Don't forget to take the opportunity to do that. If you are a big foodie, you're gonna love Nashville. We are so much more than that hot chicken stuff that everybody seems to love. I'm probably the only person in the world I can't handle hot food, but you need to know where the original hot chicken is. There's Hattie B's, there's some great places. Original? Princess Hot Chicken. You may want to try that out. It's Lower Broad, it is not fancy stuff. You'll love it. But we are such a food scene between barbecue and the food trucks, 5-star gourmet restaurants, farm-to-table restaurants down in East Nashville is really well known for that. We've got traditional Southern, we've got hot chicken that everybody says, some meat and threes. Those are a little harder to find now. We Southerners grew up on a meat and 3 different vegetables, some of the best biscuits you'll ever taste. We have something for everybody here in Nashville as far as eating goes. We've got several 5-star restaurants. If you want a really big gourmet experience, you need to make your reservations early. By early, I mean 5 or 6 months early. At the Catbird Seat, used to be an old speakeasy, really cool place. You're gonna have to check it out. So coming in at number 3 of why people are telling me they're moving to Nashville is the real estate, our homes. Now, if you're coming from another top 50 city in the country, New York, California, Boston, some of the top 50 cities, and Nashville's now considered a top 50, which truly surprises all of us native Nashvillians. We still think of Nashville as the best little secret in the country. We quit being a secret maybe 10 years ago, a little longer than that now. And it is a surprise to us. We are a top 50 tier city, but we still are very reasonably priced in comparison to some of the other cities. I've also will tell you, we have had some strictly crazy appreciation. During COVID years, 25% appreciation. We have certainly softened. We have certainly leveled out here in 2024. You know, people can move around the country a little bit easier and a little bit better. If you're coming from New York, some of these other areas, you're going to find our homes tend to be a lot larger, especially if you're used to maybe California, where people are coming from. They often tell me, I only want about 1,800 square feet. Colorado tells me this a lot of the time too. But they also I realize in talking to them for a while, that they have a basement. Well, frankly, that basement is still living space for most of them. So 1,800 square feet is not 1,800, it's really 3,600 if you have living space down there. So our homes tend to be all above ground, unless the topography dictates that a basement be built on that property. We tend to be flatter in most of these areas. When you're out of an area that wasn't developed in the 40s, where they were digging out basements for fallout shelters and refrigeration, we tend to not have many basements. So our homes may be 3,000 to 5,000 and heck, much, much larger than that. So it does tend to surprise people, but we are far more reasonable than most of those areas. And that may just be the purchase price of the homes, but it also might be the tax situation. Our taxes are so much lower than so many other areas as far as property taxes go. Now I know you're gonna have some Nashvillians in the comments who've been here for a long time saying, our taxes are horribly high. Heck no. It has happened yearly that when I've told somebody what their property taxes were going to be, I don't know where you're coming from that has such horrific property taxes, but you'll be happy when you get here. There are many other things that you'll be happy about too. I understand that our car tags are far less expensive than many places throughout the country. So again, ask me all those questions in our conversation. And yes, here in 2024, our interest rates are quite a bit higher than they were back in 2022. But investing in Nashville as a real estate, we've got appreciation, and even in really tough years. Again, I've been in this business for a long time. So from the 80s and 2007 to 2012 period, even in those tough times throughout the country, most of Nashville, all of Nashville, and closer in area to Nashville, were softened, maybe were flat, didn't see the 20-30% decreases of value that you saw in many parts of the country. I don't suspect we're going to see that again. Flattening out, maybe only a 2 or 3% appreciation, heck, that would be probably a very good thing. But investing in Nashville is a very solid investment. That's why we're seeing so many investment companies coming in to buy us, which I'm very happy about, as they have in some areas where they buy entire subdivisions. They're not doing that because we don't have that much giant new construction subdivisions that many cities have. You've got to go pretty far out of Nashville now to find a very large subdivision being built, and those are being snapped up by people who want to live there. So I'm really kind of happy about the fact that we don't have a whole lot of corporate ownership. Nashville is a good place to invest. Whether you're an investor and you want to own your own home, but you also want to own some investment property, maybe build a portfolio, a couple of homes. I've got a couple. And finding some good areas of Nashville or throughout Tennessee. I can tell you about some areas that I'm searching out and I'm finding some great values in. Coming in at number 2 is strictly our booming economy. We have been a booming economy for the last several decades. We were a slow build and we were the best kept secret, and then everything blew up. Many people were calling us our national bird is truly not, but we're calling it that now, the crane, because cranes dot the skylines from downtown Nashville over into Mount Juliet, down into Williamson County. There is a lot of growth, and that's both large high-rise condominiums, apartments, hotels. We've got so much growth, realizing that because of our job stability, because of the good infrastructure of the business world here, because of the strong educational system, so we have good workers and the low unemployment. This is a great place to invest long-term in. Some of the things that have brought in Amazon, the world headquarters for Oracle. Can you believe that? Nashville has the world headquarters is being built now on the Oracle campus down in East Nashville, right on the riverfront. That is enormous. It's an enormous campus that's going to bring in the hotels, the businesses, the offices. It's going to still keep revitalizing that downtown river area to be a beautiful place. And I haven't even talked about the parks, the recreation, all the things that we have here. If you want to know a little bit more about all the things I'm talking about, you need to check out my relocation guide. It's new, it's updated, you can download it, you can do a little more research on all the things that we've talked about, including the best suburbs to live in the area, highlighting more on the education, telling you where to find some information about crime stats for particular areas. This relocation guide will help you tremendously. Go ahead and download it now. And coming in at number 1, by far, when I'm talking to people about all the reasons they're moving here, what they're looking for, what they hope to find, the number one thing that I'm hearing when they really get down to it is they want a better quality of life than they have wherever they're coming from. I hear it over and over again from east to west, north to south, people coming from all areas. They're looking for a better quality of life. Between the outdoor recreation, the beautiful parks, you have the ability to get outside, the 4 seasons, the change, there's room to grow. I'm seeing so many kids, people tell me, I want my children to be able to grow up with their feet in the grass. I want them to know what a cow looks like. I want them to have the opportunity to see a working farm and to get their hands dirty, a church group to maybe grow with. They're looking for homeschooling and a homeschool organization. They want to feel a part of a community. They want to get out in the community and feel safe to get out in that community. They are looking for, dare I say it, a kind of lifestyle where I respect you, you respect me. Don't try to change me. I won't try to change you. Don't try to change my children. I'm hearing that over and over again. And I can't try understand, because I've never lived, the difficulty of being afraid of being able to go out in your community. And of course, you've got to watch. You've got to be alert. But to be afraid to say something out loud to someone, to be afraid to hold a door open because of anger and fear is just beyond what I can understand. And I can understand it simply because I see the relief on people's faces. I'll tell you a story. There was a lady who moved here from California, and the very first day she was here, we were having lunch at one of my favorite little tea rooms, and she went to the ladies' room. She left her bag in there. She came back out and was talking to me. She'd been sitting at her table for about 10 minutes, and suddenly she went ashen, and she was panicked because she thought she'd left her bag in the ladies' room. And I said, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's there. It'll be there. Don't worry, I'll go check. I got up to go check. It wasn't there, but I went to the hostess, and the hostess said, absolutely, we've got this. Somebody brought it, and they gave it to her. She evidently comes from a place where it would have been stolen in a nanosecond. That's not who we are. And that's not who we want to be. The quality of life. People want to get outside. They want the entertainment. They want a good job. They want to have a few extra pennies in their pocket. And don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you we're cheap. I'm not telling you we're inexpensive. I'm not telling you that you're suddenly going to be very, very wealthy by moving here from where you are. But it's going to be the right mixture of the right things to give you some breathing room. That's what I'm hearing from so many people moving here. And I want you to have that opportunity to have a great place to raise your children, to grow old with your family, to make new friends, to build a community of people of like-minded like you, and find a place that you can breathe again. That's what Nashville is to me. It always has been, but that's what Nashville is to so many people who have moved here. Between our thousands of acres of parks, between the waterfalls, between the fact that you can go to every single weekend a different park within 2 hours of Nashville. If you want to get outside, you can do it. If you want to be in the middle of cultural events like at the Frist and go to the art museums, if you are a foodie, if you are a sports enthusiast, if you just like to have a good old Saturday afternoon and read a good book at a beautiful building, go to our downtown Nashville library. Lots of things to do here in the Nashville area. I want to share those with you. So reach out to me, grab that guide. Let's have a conversation to see what is it about Nashville that might make your quality of life much better.